Well, hello. It's Wednesday, August 20th. I'm a little early today. I've got a lot of questions to get to, and I've got a couple more sessions this afternoon. So I want to hop to it. Thank you for joining me on the wonderful worlds of Akashic Records. I have, like I said, lots of questions. So I am going to hop to it and read the Akashic prayer and then jump in. We'll see what the guides have to say and then hop into our questions. Okay. And just a reminder, I will not be here next Wednesday. Okay. I ask God if He will have His shield of love and truth around you permanently, so only God's love and truth will exist between you and me. I allow the masters, teachers, and loved ones of you to channel through me out of whatever realm to say whatever they wish. I ask the permission of the Lords of the Akashic Records, so I'm able to look into the records of you and remove whatever information I'm allowed. Okay. Let me see here. Okay, let's see where the guides want to start today. Get my stone. Okay. All right, I'm just seeing if they have any little words of wisdom. Sometimes, and this is so interesting, so I'm not picking up anything right now from the guides. And I'll tell you this, and maybe this is why it's happening. Sometimes when you have sessions, if you have a lot of things you want to look at, and especially in a 30-minute session, the guides will... they're going to start out by just having you jump into your questions because they want to maximize the time that you have with them. And so that can happen often, doesn't, but it can. And so today they probably know we have a lot of questions to get to, and I want to try and keep it in this hour. So let me see here. I'm just seeing if that is the case. Well, they said there's lots of good questions, and while some are personal, some are bigger, and there will be a message woven in for everyone. So, okay, that's what we're going to do. We're going to roll with that. Hey, you guys. Okay, first question. I'm finding it very difficult to stay grounded with the constant changes in frequency adjustments. Being that my guides know me best, what can I personally do to ground myself as these transitions occur? Sorry, my kitty loves when I do sessions, and she's gotten to sit. She likes to sit in my lap during sessions now. So, all right, I'm going to read that again. I'm finding it very difficult to stay grounded with the constant changes in frequency adjustments. Being that my guides know me best, what can I personally do to best ground myself as these transitions occur? Okay. Well, one, they said they would just recognize that you're sensitive and that you're tuning into the frequencies. And then they said they would ask what the frequencies might be telling you. Is there something that is needed at this time that you might say a prayer or do a little mantra, chanting something that is needed at this time? And so remember, some of you that are more sensitive to frequencies are being invited to open up to what those frequencies are signaling to you, because it's almost like, don't think of it as the earth is putting out a calling, maybe more a distress signal that you can assist in, if that makes sense. And they said the most important thing always is to know what your dominant frequency is and know how to access that dominant frequency, because often that's really what's needed in a situation. And instead of you being affected by the frequencies around you, they would like for you to look at the other way as you be the frequency that affects that which is around you. And there's real power in that, and there's real mastery in that. And so that is something on your journey that you are doing. Learning to be a master with frequencies. And so instead of feeling controlled by them, let yourself be the controller, if that makes sense. And so there's bigger work here for you going on. And of course, for staying grounded, they said their favorite thing they like to go to is sound. Sound is very healing, is very helpful, whether that's sound of nature, whether that's the sound of the earth, whether it's the sound of Om, understanding the different solfeggio tones, all of those frequencies. So I would say there's inviting you to look at that, which I'm sure you're already aware of, but to be a part of your journey in mastering the language of frequency. So I love that question. I'm sure that is helpful to many people. Okay. So I just signed up to take Holy Fire Reiki 3. Afterwards, what do the records show as the most beneficial path for me to take? Thank you. Okay. They're showing 3 trajectories, and not one is bigger than the other. And part of that is because they're saying you will be a different person after this course. And so, what might be showing up could be very different. Hang on here. So when we look at future trajectories in the records, they do have our future potentials, but a decision we make today can affect one. And now if there's a trajectory that is really strong, it's usually going to be the only one I see, or anybody working with their records. But these 3 seem pretty equal. And I have to just say one is, I don't want to say do nothing, but that's kind of what it feels like. It's almost like this period of just maybe even a year of just being with the energy, being with this training. They also show a trajectory of you moving in the direction of teaching for some reason. That could be one-on-one students, could be in a group setting, and that may not feel right to you right now. But again, that's because you haven't gone through this process. But they're telling me you will be a different person on the other side of this. And the third trajectory is a really curious one because it feels almost like moving. It could be moving into an area or different. Well, it just feels moving. And you might set up a physical location, or you might start group Reiki in a community. That I'm not sure, but it feels like a community, feels like a move where you will use this as an avenue to be involved. So I know that's not definitive. There is the journey of the training to be on, and I feel like the clarity will happen more so after that, if that makes sense. And honestly, it could be all 3 of these trajectories find a way to merge. So don't be surprised. Thank you for asking that too, because we're all starting stuff, right? And wanting to know where that's going to go or take us. But okay, what do the guides say about MAID? And this is capital MAID, which is medical aid in dying. I have volunteered for hospice and worked with the grieving in my therapy practice for many years. I would like to be there for people who choose this option. Is this something I should pursue, or will it happen organically? Thank you. I am hearing to pursue it. And if that feels really purposeful, and it also feels like part of the package, I guess I would say, feels part of the plan, and it feels like it It's so funny. Sometimes for some of us, the guides will say, pick a niche and find that niche and run with it and hone it to perfection. And then sometimes, like in your case, they are saying, add it to the toolbox, add it to your services. Like, I don't want to say one stop shop, yet it's kind of like that. And it feels like focusing on this and pursuing this is going to open some other doors, create some new experiences for you. Of course, new people in that, but it looks like it's a pathway to kind of doing everything you want to do in that sense of grief and loss and healing with that. So you're getting a green light on that one. Okay. Okay. I met a guy for the first time since my divorce 5 years ago. He is kind, has interesting hobbies, and I'm having fun. He told me he's on a second divorce, which wasn't a long marriage, and said he's been in therapy. I told him that we could be friends and just get to know each other while he's in the midst of this. I'm not sure he's my person, but I think he is a good, well-intentioned person. I'm experimenting, having fun, and leaving myself open to possibilities. I'm honoring where I am, but I also don't want to block other opportunities from coming in. What do my guides say? Okay. That is a great way to look at it, and it sounds like you have a very clear, grounded, and aware idea of how you're entering in and being in this relationship. So that's already a shift to move forward with in relationships. So that's really wonderful that you are in this kind of head space, heart space where they're connected in alignment. Your head and heart are in alignment. And that's the guide saying that, not me. So they are saying to be in this energy and be open to what you're discovering about yourself and other people and reminding yourself what it's like to be in relationship. I am also telling you from the guides that there are no blocks. So nothing is being blocked. And really, if anything, you're being in the flow. And that kind of, that phrase, when it rains, it pours. That could happen. It's almost like now that you're in this energy of connection and in a relationship, you're meeting someone and you are forming a relationship with this person. You've entered into that vibration of relationship, say. And so it's almost like, okay, watch what happens, because more could really start to show up out of the woodwork. And I'm hearing you will be open, that you will not close yourself off for any other opportunities. If they arise, that you will check them all out. So no blocks, stay open. I would say more is coming. That you've tapped into this flow and vibration, and you're getting used to it again, you're getting comfortable with it again, and the fact that it feels fun is an indicator that it's where you need to be right now. So when things quit being fun, it's like we got to look at why and what shifted, and that's when we really start to maybe make different decisions, or reach for new understandings. Yet, as long as you're having fun, that's kind of the whole point for right now. It's like, be there, be in it, and enjoy this pace and process. So, okay. Okay, let's see here. Okay. My husband and I are looking at retiring and selling our beautiful farm where we've been for 19 years. We've had some wonderful neighbors expressing interest in the farm for over a year. My question is, will they buy the farm, or will we have to list it? And will we find our new home in the town where we are presently living? Okay. First the guides say they want to commend you on recognizing that there's more to life and more to experience. And when your time with something has kind of run its course, and it's even like, think of it this way. You show up for relationships, you show up for careers, you show up for properties and homes. And in each of those, you get to experience yourself in different ways. And there comes a point where you kind of outgrown where you are. And so you have to kind of shake things up. You have to look for that next opportunity of growth. And not say like leave a relationship or leave a home, but it is about what else does my soul want to experience? And how can I create that for myself? And it's great that you're staying out ahead of it and not kind of shoved into it. And so they want to commend you on coming to that decision. And so it looks like the neighbors, I see a heart there. So I would say I'm seeing 85% likely they will be able to buy it. Mm-hmm. I don't know what that 15% is, but it's a strong possibility that it will be them. And it does feel like you will find something where you are. I think you're going to find something somewhere else too, and you'll have to make a decision. But that kind of feels fun, if that makes sense. And you might see yourself in different ways in different places. It doesn't feel like you'll have two homes, but you could. But they are showing two options, one where you are and one in a different town for some reason. So I would say that new journey is just beginning, and it feels exciting. Okay. Well, here's the question. Why have the whales gone silent? All right. Let's see here. I don't know if I'm familiar with that, but I will ask what the guides said. So the guides are saying this is more evidence of change. What we're seeing on the earth as far as, earthquakes and fires and eruptions and floods, and those are so obvious, and we recognize that climate change is affecting the earth. Oftentimes we forget that it is impacting the ocean as well, and we forget that there's an entire marine world existing below the surface. And so the whale's song indicates a healthy ocean environment, and the absence of that would indicate that the ocean is being equally as affected as above ground, if that makes sense. So that is a little disturbing and a little alarming. And the guide said, in this change, this transformation that the earth is going through, people are going through, they have said before, and other people have said, there's going to be a lot of transformation and a lot of people transitioning the planet, and that includes animals too. That includes marine animals too. So the ocean is experiencing quite a shift. We just can't see it. The whales and the song would be an indicator of that shift. We have to trust that this is a process of change and transformation, and they are part of that plan. There's lots happening beyond our control. There are, frequencies we could tune into to try and heal the earth. And yet so much of this is awareness that has to happen for mankind as a whole. And if that's something you can influence in your area, if that's something you can just take that step at home to start addressing climate stuff, then do that. Yet they are reflecting the change under the surface. So I would say there's probably a lot more going on that's probably further along than we might imagine if that's happening. So they said that whales, just for those that your heart hurts and you wonder about the life of whales and what will happen to that species, the guides are saying they will adapt. And they've been here as long as the earth, and they will adapt. Will several leave? Yes. But that is part of this cycle that we're going through. Okay. Okay, here's a question. All right, I quit my job 3 years ago and have been able to take time off to heal and find a new direction. While I've healed, I've not found my new direction and wonder if you see anything in my records. Okay. Okay. All right, let me see here. They just keep showing me an image of you walking. So I don't know if that's part of your healing, if that's something you're doing. Give me 1 second, but I see you walking. I see one person joining, then I see two, then I see more. Hang on, there's my kitty. So I'm not sure if it's a walking group you're with or going to start, or just I don't know if you've thought about walking the El Camino, but there might be something there that I'm picking up on. Let me see if there's something with that too. I feel like there is something for you to teach, and it feels more creative, artistic, if that makes sense. And I don't know if I would say teach it, but just have the space for people to learn it with you as a guide, not like this formal class. I mean, I guess it would be. I'm not sure exactly what I'm seeing, but I just seen people around you. So I would say whatever it is, it feels not solo. Let's say that there's people around. Feels creative, but there's also physical. I don't know if you lead ceremony in any way, do fire ceremonies or drumming ceremonies. And I wish I could get more clarity around that for you. But I would say it's not 100% clear yet. So there might be still more healing you need to do, more understanding that needs to happen. And that could come through walking. And it might be walking meditation that I'm seeing. But honestly, I would be open to, maybe it's the Pacific Northwest Trail that you're going to walk, or maybe it's the El Camino. But I would say there's something there in that journey for you. So deeply reflective, deeply transforming, and I would say mentally and emotionally and physically to be able to do it. So there might be more to, I don't want to say heal, maybe access on those levels that will come through walking and maybe drumming, if that makes sense, and fire. So I would look, I know this week is a new moon, but maybe, and new moons are wonderful to do ceremonies on. That might be something to get in the habit of, or maybe look for somebody in your area that's hosting one that you can participate with. So here, I would say there's more to discover before that new direction really takes shape. So thank you for asking that. I love all you guys. I love all the color, sunflowers, everything. Thank you for joining. Okay, let me see. Anything else we got here? All right. I think, whoops, sorry, dropped my stone. I've had an infection for 4 months, unresolved. I've seen a GP, ophthalmologist, ear, nose, throat, dentist, natural chiro, and 1 month of antibiotics. Still problems with my face, eyes, and skin. Oh, interesting. Okay. Let's see what the guides would say here. I know that is so frustrating. So the guides are always going to look at take a Carl Jung approach to things and look at the symbolism. And of course, face is how we're seen. It's our face to the world. And if we are wearing a mask that needs to come off, so to speak, oftentimes we will develop things on the face. And this is just an answer in general. This is not for you specifically. This is for everyone to know. So eyes, you always look at, is there something I'm refusing to see or unwilling to see? And then the skin, even, the skin, it's like the skin is our sensory organ. It's what we, feel. It's touch happens there. It's, all of our sensations. So is there something you're unwilling to feel? Like, you always want to start with those questions, because remember, everything that's happening physically has started energetically first. And it has to be an energy for a long time for it to manifest into something physical, a physical experience. And so we're always going to go to that emotional connection behind it. There's jaw and ear pain too. So again, we need our jaws to chew to begin the digestive process. And it's like, what do I not want to digest? What am I resisting digesting? And ear, of course, what do I not want to hear? What am I blocking from hearing? So also, the face, the skin represent our ego. And and so there might be something there to look at. Is our ego overactive? How can you come into and live from that heart space? So those are all things when you have an illness that you want to look at. But let me see if there's something specifically for you that they would come into. One second here. I'm not sure if you've tried fasting, like a 3-day fast or anything like that, or a water fast, even for a day. They're saying there's inflammation in the body that is presenting on the face. There's something for you to write. There's something, a letter needs to be written to someone. Not that you have to send it, but I'm not sure what that's about. But it feels like there's stuff to say. There's a new way for you to be seen, or a way you want to be seen, I would say. So there's some work there. Give me 1 second here. I would look to see if you have a copper deficiency. And as we get older, most of us do. So you might want to look at getting, I would say, check the minerals in your body and see what needs balancing. But they are pointing to copper. Let me see if there's something else here. It feels like minerals. I keep going to minerals. I don't know what that's about. And I would say a deficiency. I'm not sure if you've had those checked. Let me see if there's something else here. I'm going to assume you've been to a dermatologist too. And if you haven't, I would certainly do that. I would also try acupuncture, is what I'm hearing, to okay, be open to acupuncture. Sinus. Okay. Oh, acupuncture might really be helpful. Let me see here. Sinuses, that's really interesting, because she just said it's not skin but sinus. So sinuses can be related to being angry at one person. And so I don't know if that's what that letter's about that they said. Is there something you need to express to someone or get out? I'm not sure if you're familiar with biofilm. That may be a protocol to look at. Biofilm starts in the gut, but it can spread through the body and get into the sinuses, and that just gets worse and worse and worse if that is not addressed. And there are certain things you can do for a biofilm protocol, and those are little colonies of bacteria that it's like what COVID is. They have a really strong boundary around them, and if that goes unchecked, they keep colonizing, and it just spreads through the body, and that can cause a lot of stuff here. And so, look up biofilm. Look up biofilm protocols. How do you reset that? How can you get rid of it? It's not easy, in the sense that like you have to be disciplined and committed to do it. But it might be a 30-day or a 60-day, thing that you do. An acupuncturist, Chinese medicine, might be able to help with that. But I would look at that and see if what you read about it resonates, because that could solve. It can manifest into the skin issues too. That would be a really good direction, I would say, to look. The biofilm spreading in the body, causing the sinus stuff, and then coming into the skin. So let's see here. If that makes sense to you, you're welcome to reach out to me. And I know someone in Mississippi that can get you on a program to clear that up. So, but otherwise, you might find someone where you are too. It's in the Chinese medicine maybe too that can help. So, hopefully, okay, that will work. All right, let's just see here. So, we are looking for a different card deck today. Let's do, I like John Holland and his Psychic Tarot deck. He broke his, every tarot deck has the major arcana and minor arcana, and he broke his into physical, mental, spiritual, emotional. I'm going to just draw one. Let's see here. This is, oh wow, this is for everyone today. Stand your ground. That, look, and it looks like an eclipse, and we're getting ready to start eclipse season, I think. Let me look at this real quick. I will read what this one's about for us. All right, it's going to be in the spirit one. Okay. This card comes at a time when you're being tested and challenged. There may be fierce competition and potential rivals surrounding you in your personal or business life. But know that you have the strength and inner courage to stand your ground no matter how hard or formidable things may appear. Don't surrender or give up the control you have. Be brave and stay true to your core life values and belief system, which are your best allies and will help you move forward. It's important to remain clear and focused, for you may have to stand alone and defend your convictions to the end. Maintain your health and stay strong so that you have an ample supply of energy to endure anything. And this could be a long and arduous, yet ultimately hard-won victory. Well, that's a big card to come out for us today, isn't it? I'm just going to ask for a clarifying card, maybe. Let's see. I mean, if anything, I would say that card would tell me to get healthy, stay healthy, be ready for anything, and be strong in your body. So I drew, as a clarifying card, intuition, number 2. Okay. Intuition is the language of the soul. When this card shows up in a reading, it's a clear message that it's time for you to use your intuition. Let's see here. It says just give it a chance and you'll quickly notice, come on, she's coming back. Hang on here. How it might be trying to get your attention. With so much information in this world vying for your every thought, it's easy to ignore or fail to acknowledge your insights. Synchronicities and so-called coincidences, which we know there are no coincidences, are powerful signs that intuition is knocking on your door. Have you heard a phrase or saying repeated more than one person or by more than one person? Do the same numbers keep showing up? Has someone mentioned the name of a specific individual who you were just thinking of? These are all signals for you to pause, be open, and pay attention. This is a perfect time to seek the answers from within. Turn inward, where you'll find the solutions and valuable insights that are waiting to assist you. So the traditional tarot archetype of this is the High Priestess. Which is so cool because I think we were talking last week about moving into that divine feminine. And if I had to put these 2 cards together, I would say how to stand your ground is to be in your divine feminine. And because that's where you trust yourself and your inner guidance and your wisdom. So I can hang with that. I think that'll be nice to have those 2 to think about for the week. Yeah. And I'm not here next Wednesday. I'll be traveling. And I don't think I'll get to do a session Tuesday or not, but I'll get a little email out if I can and give a heads up if I can get a show in before I go out of town. Otherwise, you guys, I will see you soon. I want to thank you for your questions. Thank you for joining. Thank you for sharing your beautiful energy here. And I just wish you many blessings and delightful surprises the rest of your week. Okay, thanks. Bye.